Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So last week before last week we studied lesson alone doer. So in Buddhist perspective, the person who lives alone cannot be called a lone doer, because there is a defilement like craving stay with him or her. So the perfect lone doer in Buddhist perspective is the one who get rid of all defilement, especially the craving one. So that is the previous lesson. So today's lesson is criticize and get criticized. Based on one story of our devotee, there are two of them go for practice together, but one criticize one another. So how to criticize other properly, and how to get that criticize properly in Buddhist perspective. That's what we're going to study today. So in the Anguttara Nikaya, the connected discourse, the Venerable Sariputta, one of the chief disciple of our Buddha, he teach others, fellow monks, on how to be a proper criticizer and how to get the criticizer properly. So in for the first, we talk about the criticizer, one who criticize order. Criticize here means you find the fault of other person, let them know about that, try to correct them with that in a good way. Yeah. So before you start criticize order, you should keep in mind, you should establish 5 things in yourself. First, I will speak with time properly, not at an improper time. So times here not refer to the criticizer, but refers to the one who get criticized. You should think about the other person. You should not criticize other in front of a group of people or in a meeting room. For the monks, like in the Uposatha room, there's many monks around, and you criticize him in front of everybody like that. It's not the good time. So the good times here refers to, you can call him out. Venerable sir, friends, give me the time, we can discuss. I have something to tell you. So this is the proper time. Second one, I will speak with truth, not falsely. Truth means something real, something really happened, and I will not lie anything about that. Third one, I will speak with gently, not harshly, with smooth, tender word, not to hurt other feelings. Fourth one, I will speak with beneficial process, not to harm other people. So what I give you to let you improve yourself and to be a better person, not to push you down, something like that, for your benefit, for your welfare. And the fifth one, you keep your mind with loving kindness, and you talk. You not talk when you have hatred, when you have anger in your mind. So that's the 5 things that the criticizer need to keep established in his mind before he start to criticize order. Proper time, the truth, soft, tender word, with benefit and with loving kindness. So there are many things can happen that the criticizer, he not establish these 5 things, but in the opposite way. And the other friend around, when they know about that, when we know there's somebody criticize order improperly, so we should come, the fellow monks should come and talk to that person. You talk to him, you criticize him or her, it's not proper. and maybe at the wrong time, maybe it's not right. Sometimes you use a harsh word. It's not good. It's not good to do like that. You should get yourself remorse. You should regret about it. So why we do that? The Venerable suggests to do that because it will help to prevent or something like that happen in the future. Other monks will base on something untruth and criticize other person. And sometimes the case happen that you are the person who criticize other properly, but the other person they don't receive properly. So if the fellow monks around and know about that, you should come and comfort that person. Okay, you good. You criticize other properly according to the Dhamma, according to the teaching. It's right. There's nothing wrong with that. You should comfort yourself. No need to remorse. You need to regret about that. So that is the first case for the one who criticized other person. Then later the Buddha talked to Venerable Sariputta that there is some times that you criticize other to help them become a better person, but they don't listen to you. They reject what you say. And sometimes they receive what you say. So what do you think about that? So Venerable Sariputta talked to Buddha that Venerable Sir, for the one who not try to receive what I say, the one who become a monk for a living, not for practicing, the one who full of defilement in himself, the one who let his mind wander around, not he's unwise, he's a stupid one. So for that kind of person, I will ignore them and don't let their problem become mine, right? But for the one who become a monk, who practice accordingly to the teaching of the Buddha, who try to practice so hard, who keep his mind away, mindfulness, wakefulness, and concentrate with wise and intelligent in that way. So for that person, I will encourage them more. I will criticize them more and make them become a better person. So that is the first case for the criticizer. So for the one who get criticized, who receive criticism from other person, so if other person criticize you improperly, so the other monk will come. If the other monk or fellow monk know about that, he should come and comfort that monk. Okay, you should not be regret. You should not be sad because that monk criticized you improperly, not according to the teaching of the Buddha. They use harsh words. They speak not for your benefit. They will try to harm you. They speak falsely. Is they not good? So you don't let your mind be sad because of that. But if the fellow monk know that he is criticized properly, that's his mistake, and the other monk criticize him at the proper time. He speak the truth. He speak with loving kindness. So the fellow monk should tell that the one who get criticized, you should think about that. You should change yourself. You should regret about your problem, and make yourself become a better person. The Venerable Sariputta conclude for the one who get criticized that he should establish two things in his mind before he get criticized from other person. That is, in truth and in imperturbability. In imperturbability is mean your mind is calm, peaceful, and don't shake because when you receive from other person. Normally, when we heard somebody criticize us, even it's right, it's wrong, your mind is not happy, really happy to receive it at first. But for the one who practice, the Venerable Sariputta encourage us that we should keep our mind calm, peaceful to receive it, and to make sure that it is the truth, it's the right one, real one. So if other come and criticize me, whether it's a proper time or improper time, whether it's true or false, whether gently or harshly, whether it's for our benefit or not for our benefit, or whether they use loving kindness or hatred, whatever they are, keep our mind in truth and in non-anger. So if I know that they are talk about me right, I have such bad quality, I have such bad things, so I know and I tell him, yes, it's right, it exists, I will change. But if I know that I have nothing wrong with that, don't have such bad quality in my mind, so I will say, no, it is not right about me. Furthermore, in Majjhima Nikaya, another discourse also concerned with the same topic, the Buddha encouraged us, when we receive when we get criticized from other person, we should practice in this way. We should think this way. When we receive the criticism from other person, if our mind don't change, if our mind calm, peaceful to receive it, so we will not speak out harshful word to destroy them. Because we listen and we get angry and we will destroy them. But if we keep our mind calm, peaceful to receive it, we will not speak the evil word. So if we not speak the evil word, we can keep our mind fully with the loving kindness, thinking about the welfare of the other person, at first with that person. So taking that person as the first object, make himself full of loving kindness from what we are now, and we develop it and cultivate it, make it bigger and bigger to various beings in the world. That's how we should do when we receive criticism from another person. Without hospitality, without ill will, immeasurable to all living beings. So the Buddha gave an example that, so there's a man came with a hoe and a basket and said, I will make this great earth become the place without earth. And he dig here, dig there, strew the soil here and there, spit here and there, even urinate here and there, saying, great earth, be without earth, be without earth. So do you think that he could do it? No, impossible. Because, why is that? Because this great earth is immeasurable deep. And it is not easy to make it become without earth. So in the end, the man would reap only the weariness and disappointment. Another example the Buddha gave that there's a person who come with a lot of color, crimson color, turmeric color, and said that I will draw the picture on the empty space. I will draw on like the cloud. I will draw on the empty space. And what do you think? Could that person draw a picture and make the picture appear on the empty space? This is impossible, because the empty space is formless, is non-manifestive. So it is not easy to draw a picture and to make the picture appear like that. In the end, the person will reap only the weariness and disappointment. In the same way, when we get criticized from other person, if we can keep our mind with loving kindness, full of loving kindness like that, we will not be affected by them. Whether they speak properly or improperly, at the proper time or not the proper time, with loving kindness, or they speak with hatred for our benefit or not for, or harmful for ourselves, don't care about them. Care about what we receive. So that's the Buddha encouraged the person who get criticized, prepare before listen to them. Don't let your mind shake. Don't let your mind get angry and fight back and spit out the evil word. So keep your mind with loving kindness and protect your mind well in the truth and in the loving kindness. So there's a story concerned to the topic I would like to share to you to make you understand more about the criticize and get criticized. So there are two brothers, Mahabantaka and Chulabantaka. They live together with the grandparents. They live with the grandparents. So the elder one, the brother, often go with the grandpa to the temple and listen to the teaching, even at young age. But he's really love to go to the temple. And one day he talked to the grandpa that I would like to become a novice monk. So the grandpa really happy to let him go and practice become a novice monk. When he become a novice monk, he practiced so hard. He learned a lot of Buddha teaching, and he really smart too. And when he reached 28, he become a bhikkhu, a fully ordained monk. And at the age of 20, sorry, okay, when he reached the age of 20, he become bhikkhu, fully ordained monk, and he practiced meditation, and he get enlightenment, become an arahant, get arahantship. So when he get enlightenment, he become an arahant. He want to share such kind of blissful happiness for his younger brother. So he come and talk to Renpa that I want to let my younger brother become a monk and enjoy the blissful like me. So Grandpa, please let him go. So Grandpa, instead of normal people would get angry, but Grandpa is the person who have faith in Buddhist teaching. He's really happy with that. So finally, the younger brother also become monk or fully ordained monk, a bhikkhu. So after the younger brother become a monk, now we call younger monk. He ordained that the elder monk teach him one stanza with 4 sentences. The meaning is like praising the Buddha. But this younger monk study for 4 months, cannot memorize that one stanza with 4 sentences. And the elder monk criticized him that why don't you try so hard? Later on, there are so many discourse, there are so many teaching that you have to learn too. It's just start with one stanza, and 4 months you cannot remember, cannot memorize. If you not try so hard like that, so you be better, come back to lay life. Cannot be a monk and be lazy like that. So he talked because for the benefit of the younger monk, he's right. But the younger monk, he's not lazy. He tried, but he cannot remember even one stanza. The story mentioned that in the previous time, in the Kassapa Buddha, in the previous Buddha, he used to be a good monk and smart monk. But when he saw other monk not so smart, slowly, he make fun of that monk. And because of that monk gave up, don't want to try anymore. So that is bad karma, and now he received bad consequence. And he tried so hard, cannot remember even one stanza for 4 months. The other day, one physicians come and invite the monk, all the monk at that temple to for have lunch offering. And the elder one, the elder brother is the one who arranged the offering. He said, "Okay, I will let all the monk except the younger one because he's still weak in learning the teaching." And that younger monk heard about that, and he really upset. I should not try anymore. It's hopeless. So tomorrow I will give up and disrobe and come back to lay life. But the Buddha know about that. and the Buddha know what he should do. So in the early morning, the Buddha wait the younger monk at the temple gate. He walk over there and wait. The young monk come out and saw the Buddha. The Buddha would ask, what happened to you? Where do you go? The younger monk tell all the story. He is so hopeless and he should go back to the lay life because he cannot memorize one stanza. The Buddha take him to his kuti, his hut, gave him a piece of cloth, and asked him, "You rub that cloth, and while rubbing, you should speak out, cleanse the dirt. Rajo haranang, cleansing the dirt. Rubbing the white cloth and say, cleansing the dirt. Just sit there and do that." So everybody go for alms for offering, and he's sitting and doing that. So while he doing that, the sun go up, the sweat come out, and the white cloth lately is become dirty. He noticed that. He think, oh, in the first time the Buddha gave me the cloth is really beautiful and it's white, but then later on when it touched my body, it become like that. It's dirty. So that is called impermanence of things. He realized that, and at that very moment, the Buddha know about that, and he appeared in front of the younger monk with psychic power. He touched the monk with the 3 stanza. So I make it become one here. Greed, anger, delusion is dirt, and not to call as dust. Dirt is a designation for greed, anger, and delusion. Having give up this dirt, those white people abide in the teaching of the dirt-free one. So dirt is something dirty, is not good, defilement. So greed, anger, and delusion is dirt, is worse than the dust. So having give up this dirt, the wise people will give up this dirt, give up the defilement, give up the greed, anger, and delusion, and abide in the teaching of the dirt-free one, is mean the Buddha. So after he finished these 3 stanzas, the mind of the younger monk reached the high level. He became an arahant with fully knowledge. It's totally different from the monk who cannot memorize one stanza before. But now, when he attend arahantship, he get fully knowledge. He can have the capability to preach in detail. So after that, the Buddha talked to the donor that there's still one monk left at the temple. Come and invite him. So the donor let his servant come to the temple. But when he come to the temple, he not saw one monk. He not seeing one monk, but 1,000 monks. And they do several things, several activities. Some stand, some lying down, some sitting, some walking, some do this, some do that. And the servant surprised and cannot do anything. So he come back to ask the Buddha, what should I do? There's so many monks, 1,000 monks like that. So the Buddha said that, okay, come and tell them that the Buddha called for Chulabantaka, call out his name. So the servant come and ask, the Buddha called for Chulabantaka Pante, so please come. So all the 1,000 monks answer, I am Chulabantaka. The servant cannot do anything, come back and ask the Buddha. The Buddha thought that, okay, you take the hand of the first one who answer, sees that person. So the servant come and ask, I am Chulabantaka, and sees the first one who answers. All other disappear because they appear because of the power, psychic power of the younger monk. So after the offering, the Buddha let the younger monk to preach the Dhamma in detail. And there is a little thing that why the Buddha gave the white cloth to him, because in a one previous life he used to be a king, and when he go out to look out for his kingdom, he sweat come out, and he used a white cloth to swipe sweat, and he noticed the difference. He noticed the impermanence thing, the changing thing. So that is the reason why the Buddha know that, and he just drip one more drop of water and make him realize the truth, become an arahant. So today's lesson, we study about how to criticize properly and how to get the criticize properly. So before we criticize other person, we should keep in our mind that we speak at the proper time, we speak the truth, we speak with the soft word, tender word, we speak for their benefit, and we speak with loving kindness. So if we can do that, start and criticize order for their benefit, make them become a better person. And for the one who receive, one who get criticized, we should get our mind ready and keep our mind in a loving kindness and unshakable non-anger. And whatever the criticizer gave us, whether it's good or bad, a proper time or improper time, or it's loving kindness or with hatred, don't care about that. Keep our mind calm, peaceful, full of loving kindness, and receive it. If it's right, accept it. If it's not right, say, this is not right about me. Okay? So, and about the story of this monk, sometimes we in this life, we are smart, intelligent, should not criticize other improperly. Like that monk, he make fun in the previous life, he make fun of other person. And when we practice, on the way we practice, we're not sure that how we get enlightenment, how we realize the truth. We don't know. Only the Buddha who know. So just keep trying. Sometimes we just need one last drop of water, and every time we try, it would count on the final destination. Like one time he think about the white cloth become dirty when he used to be a king. So because of that, the Buddha based on that and make him realize the truth at the final one. So thank you for your listening.
Okay, discussing time. As you see, it's so beautiful when we have the Buddha available for us to learn from. The Buddha, he's not just only be skillful, but he's very, he's worthy to be the teacher of human and celestial beings because he's very skillful. He has psychic power, can access your mind and see where the obstacle, where the hump that prevent you from getting progress. As we all know now that we practice very hard every day, and yet we felt that we cannot get over, whatever that, hinder our progress. But we are not fortunate to see the Buddha could actually see through you and help you. So it's, it's blessing that we have the Buddha in front of us to help us. But that, in order to see the Buddha, we need to work hard in this life, in many, many lives, and be ready when you see the Buddha and receive the teaching. And a lot of people, wonder, like, how can we see the Buddha in the future? There's two things that I learned, that in order to see the Buddha and get the Buddha help and then get enlightened through his teaching, when we physically in front of him. First, you have to have moral conduct. To have moral conduct, then you will be able to meet the Buddha. And secondly, you should be able to have wisdom available, at least called learning wisdom. Like there are three types of wisdom that we need to be able to get enlightened. is from reading, listening, reading, and then the second one is from reasoning, and thirdly is from practicing. Let's say that the practicing is the one that the true wisdom from yours, and you get enlightened. But let's say that we don't have that yet. We are still learning, like we are right here. We listen and we learn the teaching, and then we put into practice. But for that, let's say you not get any enlightenment yet, and be able to see the Buddha and get the Buddha help, you need to work on your learning and reasoning wisdom to be available. So when you see the Buddha with his teaching, and you already have some of your learn and reasoning Buddha already, that will have the breakthrough. That is the last drop that helps to overflow the bucket of water. You can enlighten. So that's two things that you need to be ready: more good moral conduct and reasoning, listening and reading, and then reasoning wisdom, the first two, to be able to see the Buddha. So, and then whenever you have any obstacle, whatever the harm that prevent you from getting further, the Buddha can access your mind and see. So for this young monk, he did bad karma in the past, which is we all do at one point. That prevent him from further his progress. He seemed like he's a very we call dumb person, like cannot learn, cannot remember one stanza because of the past karma that he committed that prevent him from further. He just could not get over the hump until the Buddha saw through him and gave him the white cloth. And why the white cloth? Because in the previous life he was a king. He also understand the teaching of the Buddha, but not mature enough to get enlightened. But he already have insight already built up in him, that he realized that the impermanence from the white cloth into a very dirty color handkerchief. So, but it's not enough to have the breakthrough for him to get enlightened. So that's why the Buddha knew this white cloth would be the last, drop that overflowed the bucket. That's why the Buddha gave him the white cloth, but not anything else. So that's why the Buddha very skillful. He knew when is the right one, what is the right one that give you the breakthrough. So as you can see, based on the bad karma, that because of ignorance, he was silly, he was mischievous. He say something that offended other people or make other people feel bad and gave up, stopped learning. That's why he faced the bad consequence. Okay, and the criticize. That's why we should learn as a Buddhist practitioner. We also try to be. We have to be mindful, loving kindness, and all that. But then again, we live with other people. Sometimes we need to help other people to get better. When you see someone that we care that not doing the right thing, we need to let them know, constructively advise them to do something, different so that can be better. But then how can we say it? How can we do it properly? Is through the 5 steps, the 5 things that Venerable Sariputta suggests. You can't be indifferent, like, oh, it's your bad karma, I'm not going to be, involved and commit bad karma and things like that. The Buddha never, teaches us that way. The Buddha, you taught us that to help yourself and help other people as well, but you have to do it correctly. Okay, if not, then you commit, you create animosity, or you not bring any benefit to yourself and to other people, and vice versa with the one who receive it. Okay, so there you go. Today we learned the 5 things that we need to keep in mind when we constructively advise or criticize other people. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Criticizing people at all. I mean, unless you're in a position where people are expecting feedback, or if they come to you with advice. of that should be criticizing.
I think the word criticize may not be the right word to say. A guy or advice or something like that. I guess, when I hear criticize seem to be more negative than positive.
Not long to become online today, but saying we can do this with it, and we think, oh, it's great, right? But it's probably one of the most toxic treatments of place in it. And primarily it's because, there's a lot of media activists and, males, give them search channels like, why are you here? Why are you doing this for? And after time, it's kind of taught me that, it's sometimes pointless to try to get.
Yeah.
Well, even if it's fine, I mean, at a point in time, you can't educate them.
Well, when we let's put the word called advice, okay? We don't want to say criticize, seems so negative. But for the people that you care about, or you feel that this person need help, then you reach out and try to say something constructively, help this person to see it. Because sometimes they've been blindsided, they've been somehow just focused and didn't know, or they don't see themselves, and they do, bad things to harm other people or harm themselves. Then if you see that's so toxic, then you want to help this person. But if with all the 5 things that we want to abide, but if the other person didn't receive it properly or didn't want to take it, then it's okay. At least we out of our goodness, we reach out and we do want to do something. But don't get upset when they don't receive it properly, right? But you don't want to be indifferent because, you want better thing for other people too, right? Because, stop the madness that can create a lot of bad things to other people or to themselves like that. So don't expect you get some result, and don't feel, don't feel bad if they don't receive it well. But I encourage you to see something that's not proper and try to reach out and correct it. And just only one time. And if they don't receive it, it's okay. But do it with the five ways that we just suggested. And of course, when you join the vegan group, some people are so extreme and they have their own belief that this is the way it should be and everyone should do it that way. And not everyone's the same like you. May they be vegan in different ways, so it's okay. And I think you should, get out of it, because the more you got into it, and since you still have full of anger, then you can trigger to a lot of animosity, and that's not good. So if you don't think that healthy, then get out of it. Yeah. Okay. You should.
Instead of criticizing, it's more like to give a perspective, a different perspective, sort of, so that people can see things from a broader point of view and make their own decisions.
Very good. Yeah. When you see something is not correct, you may be wrong too. You may be the way you perceive it wrong too, but at least you voice up. And you just say, no, this is that, or this reason. Maybe you have to look at the problem. But if you think that, is the, that's wrong, then you voice up, speak, nicely, properly, and everything. But if they don't receive it, it's okay. But you don't feel that you saw something wrong and ignore it. Think would be better if you try to say something. Yeah, but you never know. Some people become very appreciative. They never thought that what they're doing is wrong, and then they become very grateful that you point it out, Yeah. But, okay, go ahead.
Advice on women, we need to put aside.
Yeah, when you advise someone, that you need to follow the 5 things that we just learned today, proper time, because your way of doing it, not to insult the people, putting down, not to make you feel better. Right? You never want to be, so you want to point it out, practically and point it out. And you have to speak the truth. That's the thing that you created and make it so like, oh, you are a good person, and also speak good. tenderness, loving kindness, and then also but for the benefit of that person, not because you want to show that you know it all, you are a good person, right? You do it because you want this person to be better. And lastly is loving kindness. 5 things, and I think that's if you do it 5 things, I don't think it can be wrong, unless that person is so adamant, so stubborn, and have a big ego, would never receive any, criticize. Okay, if that's the case, then you would just retreat and withdraw, drop it. Don't want to be a nigger. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to say something, Jordan?
I was thinking about last time we spoke, utility into the use of advice and about things happen because of karma. Yeah. And then you talking about getting one person to another, in the next life. It's helpful for me to see things more for how they are. It's just this, something's happening in this life. There's a reason, right? So suffering is different things in the past. If someone is, doing something bad to someone, then they're going to suffer the consequences no matter what. It just continues on and on. It's sort of accepting of that has been helpful for me because sometimes I feel like I need to change things or make things better for more than I can do. Yeah. And then I get upset because I can't, because things can't get better, but it's been happening for thousands of years, so I'm not going to be able to, change the way things are. So just focusing on what I can do and, helping individual people. I can't change the government or the way things, are, but I can help a person who would like help. And then just focusing on that, and then, in the next life, that karma will put me in another position, and just continuing to do that until, hopefully one day reach my life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so that sometimes we feel very upsetting when things, doesn't look or didn't get the way it should be. And, but then again, a lot of things beyond our reach, we cannot do much. And if things like that, I always resort back, for my personal case, I always resort back that if anything changes, it's starting with me first, if I can change other people, at first I have to change myself to be a good person, to be in good stand, to talk to someone. And the whole world, the whole getting better has to start with one individual like myself. So I think, okay, so whatever the world collapsing now, at least I just maintain the wholesomeness in me, do good thing first. And if anything, if I cannot change anything, at least in the future, in the next life, I'd be in a different place, a different position, or I would never be affected by all of this calamity, thing like that. Because it could happen, like, you've heard story that, the plane crashed and killed hundreds of people on that plane, but that passenger is supposed to be on that plane, but for some reason he forgot something and he got out and he missed the flight. So that means that he's not inclusive into that bad consequence that to begin with, something like that. Sometimes that it happened like, so I feel like, okay, so whatever it is, all the bad thing happening right now, I can't do much. I cannot do anything. So I just start to be good for myself. And at least if I can't do anything, I feel happy that I go do good things. And I don't contribute one bad seed contribute to this whole mess, thing like that. So I always felt that the whole world, getting better, starting with one person, me. I have to keep myself, and then, a wholesome conscience will come to me like that. Yeah, and then I stop getting upset about it, because sometimes when I see something is not righteous, not fair, not righteous, I get upset too. But then again, I need to wake up. I need to change my attitude, my thinking, and then I forget about it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just human, right? I see things that's not right. I also feel like, why is it like that? Why this person do bad thing and continue to have good, good stuff? But anyway, karma, all, in the work. Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
If I get angry because people are doing bad things and I'm doing bad things.
Exactly.
But then
When
I
people do
go,
bad thing, and then you get angry. Before anything happened, you feel suffering already. So what's the point? You try to help the world, and then your mind is full of suffering. So what's the point? You won't do anything right anyway. So just stay calm and be, stay calm and be positive first to make anything positive. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So any question? So I think the topic you use, criticize, I don't know, you get it from the doctrine or the word criticize. The criticize seem to be negative rather than positive.
Actually, there's in the translation he used the word reproved, reprove. But
Like censor.
yeah, reprove. But when it's not easy like the word criticize is up to the face. But when I check the dictionary, the word criticize is not that bad. It just find the fault and indicate and let people know about that. It's
But when I hear
terrible.
the word criticize, seem to be negative.
Yeah.
Like criticize seem to be not negative, right?
Yeah, but according to the discourse, we can make that one properly, criticize properly.
Criticize properly. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Really close followers. I can't remember which one, but I think this is in the Pali that he came to the Buddha and asked him a question, I think about practice, and the Buddha was responded to him, seen in a kind of a harsh manner, and someone asked the Buddha about it later, and he said that he understood that that was what the person needed to hear in order to make
wake to wake up. Like sometimes the word criticize seems to be harsh.
Yeah, and is that if that is in the Pali, is that the kind of thing that more or less only an awakened, an enlightened person would have the knowledge to do that?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Sometimes the translation that make it sound like the Buddha called other like you fools, like that. It sounds like very harsh when you in English when you hear someone is called a fool. It sounds very unacceptable. But the word fool in Bali is bala. Bala means that someone is not wise, not wise, not very intelligent. That's why he does that thing that leads to self-suffering consequences. So bala, but bala translated to English is like fool. And when the Buddha criticized a monk who did bad thing, so we call him fool. In translation, when I read it, I'm so terrible from the word of the Buddha. But that's what he meant. That's exactly that he is. If it's exactly what he is, then that's not the harsh word that the Buddha is saying. You have to be a fool to do this kind of things. Okay? So unless the Buddha tried to insult him when he's not fool, but you're calling people like you stupid, like when you get angry, you're so stupid that you meant to insult him. But he really, but he truly is, I wouldn't say stupid, like fool. He has to be a fool to do this kind of things like that. So the Buddha called him fool. He's not insulting him at all. He just want to let him because you do this kind of thing, right? You have to be a fool to do this kind of thing. You need to wake up. You need to change. You do this kind of like that. So when I listen, people could actually say, why the Buddha taught all about loving kindness and all that, and then call people a fool. He didn't call him out of insult. That's the way he is. Right? Like ignorance, the word ignorance. Like when you hear the word, like you are, because he's an ignorant person. When you hear it in English, it sounds so negative, sound like you insulting him. But you are ignorant. We are all ignorant until we get enlightened, because we don't know the right way to have true happiness, because you are been blinded, right? So, yeah, we are truly ignorant. So we shouldn't be insulted. Right? Yeah. So I often, when someone who understand the teaching the Buddha, so the word ignorant is okay, with awisha is ignorance. But when I talk to other people who new to Buddhism or not a Buddhist, then I use different word. I don't want to use ignorance, but like deluded or something. Try to change the word a little bit. But yeah, goes with ignorant or fool. Okay. Yeah. So depends on the situation, and also depend on the context. That's why we always resort back to the Bali text to make sure that what the Buddha said is what has been translated, because a lot of time we lose the meaning in the translation.
To educate.
Okay. Yeah, educate. Yeah, you tell me the proper word to say it. If you think that criticize is so negative, like what if you love someone and you want this person to do differently, to be better, like a mother to his child, you want to point out his fault and then
Help them to correct it, educate or advise.
Me too, that you have to have some sort of mastery about to be in a certain position you could.
like perfect one is like mother.
Because mothers know better than a child, and then you want him to do it correctly, to be a better person in the later on. So advice I think is a better word rather than criticize. But you need to point out his fault. Advice is different. So I don't know if it's a perfect word for that. Critique. Yeah. Okay, critique then. Use the word critique. Yeah, critique, because people analyze it and then, critique. Critique and criticize. Confused. Okay. Yeah. Your English is so much better than our English. So you're welcome to give us, the better word, because sometimes, because with the language, sometimes what we say might shock you. Yeah. 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 Like wake you up, like get you out of it, get you, wake up. Right. Yeah. Sometimes, like a kid, sometimes you have to use some physical, you have to do a spank or something, because talking alone won't affect the kid, because he's, sometimes he needs a spank, because some people listen and reasoning and they care about the word you say, but some people is like, immune to it. You need to do a spank for them because they're afraid of being hurt. But just talking alone won't affect it. So sometimes sound like it's being like angry. You hit someone, you have to be angry, but you need to do something like that for him to wake up. Like when we were young, like little boy especially, talk nicely, he won't listen, right? Until he get a whip, and then he's afraid of the whip, not what he say. But as you grow older, parents don't whip you anymore, but they talk to you, and that even worse. Yeah, you know all that, right? You see, my mom never whipped me anymore when I reached 15, but younger than that, she whipped me, Yeah. So, but along talking can really, kill me. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Depend. You maybe later on you find the doctrine, and I like to read it to analyze it, because some people who use like books nowadays, they've been recorded, and so a lot of them say that's what the Buddha do, that's what the Buddha say, and it's so dangerous and give it the wrong impression about the Buddha. Yeah. Like sometimes some of the Chinese have story like an arahant killed somebody because killed for the good cause because this person is so adamant or whatever. You would never see something like that with an arahant. He would never take a life of a living being. So something like that is impossible. Like you hear an arahant taking alcohol, like drinking because he doesn't have to keep the precept anymore. A lot of Chinese Buddhists that say that, oh, he's an arahant. He can hold women. He could drink, drunk all the time because he doesn't have to keep the precept anymore. The fifth precept, that is wrong. Even though he doesn't keep the precept, but he would never touch the alcohol to get him intoxicated. Huh? Okay, and especially women too, because he's free from sensual desires. So, okay, any more questions? Yeah. So remember when we advise or critique someone, to keep the 5 thing here. I think a lot of people already know, but just keep that so that way keep us from trouble. Sometimes we meant well, but we didn't do it well, so we give the counter effect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a thing. That's true. It's true because of anger. When something is not to our expectation or to our liking, we tend to. But that's why we need meditation. Right? You need sati. You need to be mindful before we say something. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So if we don't have anything, we can do the chanting and sharing merit.